Well, Dean, it seems the responsibility for the conclave falls upon you.
Welcome back to Yes You Can podcast, where we discuss intriguing and powerful topics that shape your life and even topics that shape the world. Today we're bringing an exciting topic. The question is, what happens when the Pope dies? What happens when the world loses one of the biggest religious leaders? What happened behind the walls of the Vatican City that make up the new headline? Because this decision, the death of a Pope, kickstart an old century tradition in the Roman Catholic Church system. Let's join it together. Historically, the task of informing the people that the Pope is late is announced by the Camerlengo, who is the Vatican Chamberlain. He is a high-ranking cardinal appointed specifically to handle the matters when the Holy Seat become vacant. The ritual is a very long ritual, always practiced in a way that involves the calling of the Pope baptismal name 3 times by the Camerlengo and tapping him gently on his forehead with a silver hammer. Example, you can call him Pope Francis. If that's his baptismal name, Francis, he said Francis 3 times, and then hitting the hammer on his head 3 times also. If there's no response, the Pope is declared dead. The silver hammer symbolizes the authority to close one pontificate and begin the transition of a new Pope. But in recent times, the hammer ritual is more symbolic and even omitted altogether. Today, medical practitioners are involved in this by the use of the stethoscope, the check for heart rate, and other physiological signs to prove he's dead or alive. The Camerlengo formally announced the death and begin the necessary steps into the selection of a new Pope. And what are the steps that is taken by the Camerlengo? The Papal bell, which is also known as the ring of fishermen, a symbol of his apostolic authority, is removed and ceremonially destroyed. So that is to say, for every Pope that has been in existence, he has a fisherman bell that has been destroyed. Not just for drama, but to prevent forgeries of official document or the papal segment after his death. Once that ring is crushed, it symbolizes the end of the Pope reign and open the door for the reign of the new Pope. So, the death of the Pope symbolized what is called in Latin sede vacante. The seat is vacant. It's solemnly and transitional periods where the church have no spiritual leader to lead them. And the Vatican even flies a special flag during this time, a yellow and a white banner featuring the cross key and an umbrella symbolizing a temporary pause in the Pope's duty, in the Papal's authority. Now, during the sede vacante, a major decision can be made. The church doesn't ordain a bishop. No major appointment, no doctrine, no document signed, nothing changes. It's like a global institution holds still on its breath. During this time, College of Cardinals step in not to take over the papal authority, but to manage the daily duties and daily activities of the Vatican City under the umbrella until the new Pope is being elected. So at this period, it's just an administrative duty with no spiritual duty, no mass conducted by any of them. It's just administrative, not spiritual. So the Catholic world will enter a time of what we call reflection and prayer time and mourning worldwide. The next thing that happened is called the Novemdiales. I'm not really good with Latin words though, but it's Novemdiales. Novembiales. A Latin term for 9 days of mourning following the Pope death. During this period, daily mass are held at St. Peter Basilica and around the world in memory of the deceased Pope. His body is placed in the Basilica, and instead, for thousands, sometimes millions of mourners stream in just to see the late Pope body and pay their last respect to him. Let's take a quick look at what happened to the Pope's remains. Okay. Let's take a quick look at what happened when to the Pope remains. He's traditionally buried in 3 coffins. Yes, 3. The first is made of cypress wood, symbolizing humility. The coffin is placed inside a second coffin made of zinc, and then which is sealed tight and finally brought together by the third coffin, which is made of elm wood or even an oak, symbolizing dignity. Wow, this must be really wonderful and one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire life when it comes to respect and burial of a high authority held by any Christian body in the whole entire world. The papal authority, the Pope, it's really something wonderful. For the burial, a document is placed inside the coffin, and inside this document contains a summary of the Pope's life, the significant art, and his papacy. His body is rest within the Vatican gottes. I don't know what really that means, but I think that should be something like a graveyard, I guess, or even another location chosen by him before his death. So the Pope is not buried by a place chosen by the church. The Pope can decide where he wants to be buried, maybe his hometown, wherever he is from. He can decide where he wants to be buried. But this is something significant for the church, and here marks what brings about the beginning of a new Pope. But let's go back to the Camerlengo, right? During the sede vacante, which is the seat is vacant, he becomes the most important man in Vatican City, not powerful, but the most central of it all, disputing duties to every other person. He organizes the funeral, organizes the Novemdiales, as I've said earlier, and prepared for the conclave. But his power is limited. He cannot change the church law or teach doctrine. His role is stewardship, not leadership. I think you should listen to that again. The Camerlengo duties are stewardship, not leadership. His presence is deeply symbolic and a stabilizing figure during these times of uncertainty for the church. As the church mourns for the death of the Pope, the conclave will soon begin. Here gathers 80 bishops are summoned to Rome. They usually arrive within 15 to 20 days. The cardinal meet in general congregation, discussing the need of the church, possible candidates, and what kind of pope the church wants next. These decisions are often fueled on reflection and quiet diplomacy. Then comes the conclave. Oh, what does the word conclave even mean from the first start? It means with key. So the 80 bishops are locked in a room until the new bishop is elected. Specifically, they stay in the Domus Sancti Mater. I'm not really good with most of the Catholic words and some of the Latin words to be precise. I don't mean to be insultive here. This is just a resident outside the Sistine Chapel. Yeah, of course, I've heard of the Sistine Chapel when I watch Angel and Demon and the movie Conclave. And there, the voting takes place. They are entirely cut out from the outside world. No phones, no newspaper, nothing technology at all. Nothing technology at all. No mails. Secrecy is paramount here because nobody's supposed to know what is going on in there. Just only the 80 bishops. So each cardinal swear an oath to uphold to that oath of secrecy. So they never disclose to anybody what happened in the Sistine Chapel. So taking information and looking at how the process goes on. When information is being leaked, the bishop is excommunicated from the conclave. The vote on paper ballots. Yeah, each cardinal write down the names of their chosen candidate, fold it, and the ballot are placed inside the plate and are put within a slate in a chalice. The ballots are then counted and chemicals are added to this ballot paper and burned when the Pope, when the bishops have not reached a decision of who the next Pope is. Chemicals are added and then it gives it a black smoke that escapes from the chimney of the Sistine Chapel. But when they have reached a consensus of the vote, what people see from the grand square of the Vatican City is white smoke coming from the Sistine Chapel. This announced the election of a new Pope, beginning a new era in the Catholic Church. When the white smoke rises from the Sistine Chapel, cheers, shout, and celebration are being held from the St. Peter Square in the Vatican City. Cheers by the crowd of millions of Catholic faithful in the election of the new bishop. But what happened when the white smoke shows? Then comes the historic moment. The senior Cardinal Deacon appear on the central balcony of St. Peter Basilica and say these words: Habemus Papam, meaning we have a new Pope. He's the one that announced the new Pope. The name of the Pope often select the name that reflect the kind of leadership you want to portray. He can decide to be St. John the Fifth, St. Peter, and whatever he wants, whatever attribute he wants to portray during his time as being the Pope of the Catholic Church. Soon after, the new Pope appeared at the balcony. It is his first time in a public moment as large as 1 million of Catholic faithful, and he becomes the leader of the Catholic Church with 1.3 billion followers worldwide. That's a very big position for somebody to hold, and it requires a lot of duty for the Pope. But what happened next? Then the new Pope gives what we call the ubi, or the ubi. Latin words are really not something you can just start in the first day and then get it all right, okay? But I'm going to spell it out. U-R-B-I. You give the blessing to the million of people gathered at St. Peter Square. So to the city and to the worldwide, it's a moment filled with gravity and humility and hope that the church will march forward and triumph, even in the world filled with iniquities and a lot of bad stuff. The Church of Christ will still march on. So why does this ancient process really reflect, and why is it important, and why does it even still matter? Because it reminds us of the continuity in the world of the Christian church, in the world of Christianity as a whole, the body of Christ, that the Catholic Church still hold onto a tradition even after 2,000 years of its existence. The Pope is more than just a religious figure. He's a global diplomat, a voice for peace, a voice for moral standard and moral stature. But that leaves us a question that I'm leaving at the end. The new Pope, will he still be in support of same-sex marriage, or will he uphold to what the scriptures say? Or will he continue with the blessing of same-sex marriage? What can we expect from the new Pope? The betterment of the church, standing up for morality, for equity, for justice in the whole world? Or what will he stand for? This and more we will know when the new Pope is elected. From Yes You Can Podcast and my team, I'd like to say to you one thing: always subscribe to this channel for more educative insight and powerful topic that's going to blow your mind. I remain your host, Tammy. Have a nice day.